Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So we got Bitcoin up here on the chart on the daily, and it's still looking fairly indecisive. We're not really seeing too much momentum for this trend upwards. And, as of the time of this recording, Bitcoin is down a little bit today, trading at about 27,800 per coin. Now, we're trying to kind of gauge where this trend is going to go in the near term, obviously in the long term. Once we see that Bitcoin halving, I think all bets are off, guys. I think we're going to start to really see that bull run ramp up. And, it was kind of a disappointment for the latter half of 2023. The first half saw, some significant gains for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And then, since about the summer, which is, mostly par for the course, we just kind of saw the trend stall. Even though Bitcoin was up, what was it, 100%? We throw a price range tool on here from the bottom up to this height here. Bitcoin was up 105%. But now it's down a little bit, so it's still up from the beginning of the year, about 80%. Nevertheless, we have seen about a 20% decline in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And, until we see this new high up above $31,800, we are projecting that we could, in fact, go lower. Now, we would have to get below $25,000, a $25,000 Bitcoin to confirm that bearish trend. And again, guys, this would only be short term before that move to the upside. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP right now trading at about 51.9. So XRP did see its own share of excitement back in the summer with the SEC lawsuit verdict. But, right now it's just kind of holding on 51, 52 cents, give or take. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, let me just bring up the Bitcoin chart here. And I know, technically, if I get rid of some of that and just kind of zoom in on this trend here, technically, we are making a higher high. Not by much, though. Higher high here from this point here and a lower low here from this point, so a higher low actually here from this point. But guys, look at that. If I punch in on that, you can see it's really not by much. They're basically touching. Even this is not by much. So that's the Bitcoin trend. But if I look at the total trend, guys, total market cap here, and looking at these same time frames, the same patterns, we're actually making a lower low on the total, okay, and a lower high on the total market cap. And in terms of the low, it's just a little bit higher. Basically the same kind of low. So the total market cap obviously measures the entire crypto market. Bitcoin is a large chunk of that. Altcoins play a huge role in this too. Let me just bring up total 2, which is the altcoin market. And, altcoins really don't run until Bitcoin runs. And altcoins have seen a pretty flat Q3. Also, let me just bring up Bitcoin one more time. Also, guys, we have to remember that, considering where we are in the cycle, 2019, very similar to 2023. In terms of that sideways year, we did see that uptrend at the beginning of 2023, and then the downtrend, we got to disregard the black swan, but the downtrend before we really did see that market pop in 2020 and 2021. So 2024, guys, looking to be very exciting. I'm still, me personally, Working Money channel, still in accumulation phase. If you guys want to follow what I'm trading, you can follow me on Patreon. I'm opening up my entire portfolio. I'm going to be opening up my XRP trading targets as well. So if that's something you guys are interested in too, I'm looking at it from a different direction. We can look at price targets all day long. But at the end of the day, I want to cash out. I want to have money in the bank. And so this time around, for XRP specifically, I'm going to let you guys know I'm not just going to be looking at the price. I'm going to be looking at other factors which are going to dictate where my trading targets end up and at what high point I will be trading a large portion of my XRP. Of course, I'm also going to be keeping a portion of my XRP for that long-term real-world value, real-world utility down the road. And a large part of that, guys, is the ecosystem and integration with not just XRP and Ripple, but also all the other partners, guys. XRP-Wins here posting this. So Ripple partner Flutterwave has also partnered with Hedera to integrate Circle's USDC. Check this out. Flutterwave and Hedera's partnership to integrate USDC on Hedera is a huge deal for the crypto industry. Flutterwave, a leading African payments company, has partnered with Hedera to integrate USDC on that particular blockchain. This partnership will bring the benefits of USDC to Flutterwave users, including instant low-cost payments and remittances and other benefits to the African payment company. This is also a huge win for Hedera as it brings more adoption and usage to the network. So let me just zoom in here, guys. This is big news. Peter Schroeder posted this too. The most valuable startup in Africa is Flutterwave, and they're facilitating the collection of payouts of funds via USDC. Now, USDC, one of those stable coins that I'm getting the inclination, many governments around the world, the US government specifically, are feeling like, okay, these guys are good to go in terms of the regulatory standpoint. There are other very questionable stable coins, one of which is Tether, which has had its share of controversy, to put it mildly. But USDC, I feel like, you know, governments are saying, okay, we're probably going to zero in on this and, you know, suggest that it is good to go, regulatorily compliant. It's got a good company behind it, so on and so forth. So, you know, it's interesting now to see Ripple partner Flutterwave also partnering with Hedera. And, you know, this is not necessarily to take away business from Ripple. Again, this is to integrate USDC. So something very different, but it is part and parcel to where we're seeing crypto go. Ripple's win against the SEC was also a big milestone with regards to this. And XRP Crypto Wolf mentioning this as well. And I'm sure you guys have heard this. The rumors going around that the charges, all the charges are going to be dropped against Ripple. I mean, the SEC is being stripped away of so much as of late. And so, you know, there's a lot of arguments suggesting that, you know, maybe this is the end for them in terms of, well, at least in terms of the Ripple case. Well, Yassin Mobarak, founder of the private equity firm focused on startups in the tech sector, said that the SEC could withdraw all accusations against Ripple and its CEO, Brad Garlinghouse. According to him, it is not in the regulator's best interest to have a trial where corruption can be exposed. And so we talked a little bit about this over this past week. Mobarak further claimed that XRP has solidified clarity in the crypto market, which could put the SEC's agenda at risk. Guys, here's a quote. They will now move to end this case as soon as possible so they can appeal to the Second Circuit and continue to sustain this cloud of uncertainty on the whole industry. Litigation by itself, regardless of the outcome, is the weapon. So, you know, I've heard people murmuring on crypto Twitter and the XRP community. Is this, you know, how realistic is this? And, you know, last week I did post a few videos with regards to some opinions. John Deaton did give his opinion there. I think now more than ever, it's looking very favorable for Ripple to kind of get that free, clear, go ahead, the green light. And for the SEC to kind of wipe their hands from this lawsuit. I mean, it's been a grueling lawsuit for over 2 years. Coming up to 3 years now. So I don't know. I think, you know, for us XRP holders, at least XRP has clarity. So that's kind of all we really care about in terms of the on-ramps, off-ramps availability in the US, which is the largest crypto trading market on planet Earth. So, I mean, you know, price-wise, XRP has the potential to go above and beyond what we saw it do, you know, last time around when XRP did see an all-time high of $3 and change. And the reason I say that is because, you know, now at this point in time, there were not as many people in the crypto market as there are today. And now it's free of barriers. So at this point in time, when we thought we were going to see a new all-time high for XRP, and we did not, the on and off ramps just weren't there. So the availability wasn't there. People were apprehensive, guys. And so what has that led to? This base has been forming now since 2018, early 2018. And so I think we're going to continue to see that pent-up demand really result in something extraordinary for XRP price once everything just kind of lines up. Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed bringing this to our attention as well. 5 points from the Ripple case that could be bad for Ethereum if the SEC goes after the Ether ICO. So this is highlighting 5 points from Ashley Prosper's tweet. As the crypto community continues to comment on Ethereum's ICO, top XRP member Ashley Prosper has highlighted 5 points that could be detrimental to Ethereum investors if the SEC ever decides to go after Ethereum's early sales. And so she brought up some of these points here, okay? I just realized that points 1 through 5 would be very bad for the Ethereum folks if the SEC ever decided to go after the ICO. Number 1, Ripple's programmatic sales were blind bid-ask transactions, and programmatic buyers could not have known if their payments of money went to Ripple. So very good point there. Number 2, Ripple's programmatic sales represented less than 1% of the global XRP trading volume at that time. And I guess what she's suggesting here is that is not the case for Ethereum. Number 3, Ripple did not make any promises or offers to the programmatic buyers because Ripple did not know who was buying XRP. Number 4, many programmatic buyers were entirely unaware of Ripple's existence. Another good point. And number 5, the programmatic sales were not made pursuant to contracts that contain lockup provisions, resale restrictions, indemnification clauses, or statements of purpose. So some very good points here, I think, from Ashley Prosper. She also mentions down here, Judge Torres is being crystal clear on why sales of XRP on the secondary market are not securities. I get the sense I get the sense she has had more than enough of the SEC's games. I don't doubt it for a second. Wanted to thank Ashley and Wheezy for posting that. Bill also mentioning this with regards to Judge Torres and her stance here. Good point. This is as close as you can get to legal clarity that the XRP ledger is decentralized without actually using the word decentralized. Amelie, Crypto Barbie here on Twitter, posting this. Judge Torres knows that Ripple does not own the XRP ledger because it was mentioned down here in the filing, guys. Ripple does not own the XRP ledger. So, in fact, Judge Torres does have enough sense to acknowledge the fact that XRP, a decentralized cryptocurrency, therefore cannot be a security independent from Ripple. So all very good points here from Bill, Ame Lee, Wheezy, and Ashley Prosper. Wanted to thank all of them for posting that. Now, because of this, guys, we're seeing more confidence in the space. This is an older clip, but I think it really kind of highlights where the partnerships were at that time. This is, I believe, from Swell 2019, where the partnerships were at that time right before the lawsuit, and where they hung for about 2.5 years before that final verdict. And guys, where they're going, and I think arguably where they're going to be going very quickly in the coming months. Listen to this.
What was the moment that you began to view this as an opportunity for cross-border payments?
Well, so using RippleNet as a tool to pay people, our recipients have no idea. Right, to them it's agnostic who we use, as long as we can provide the lowest cost and the fastest solution. That's what they're looking for. And going after some of these more challenging corridors that offer a greater opportunity for growth, especially for a freelance platform like ours, it was a no-brainer. So payment efficient, being a payments person and having a payments background, payments and billing efficiency and payout efficiency is built into our strategy. So we plug into as many platforms as we can. So we're like, great, let's give RippleNet a shot. And once we plug in, we route the transaction to whatever's the most effective. And since the beginning, that has evolved to just about everyone in one of our highest growth corridors has been RippleNet. So it's been very exciting for us. It allows us to drop our cost a little on the front end, which gives us a strong competitive advantage over our industry counterparts so we can pull more business. So the digital asset itself is a very effective tool, but it was just cost and speed made the decision for us, and it continues to go based on cost and speed.
It's all about the bottom line, according to these companies. Now, this is a freelancer company that pays freelancers, but, you know, whether it's a bank or a freelancer, all they really want is for the technology to work. And even back then it was working, and working well enough so that they could conduct business. You guys can see here. He's saying this particular customer was saying, look, we had the business advantage. We could do this better than our competitors. So we use the technology, and I mean, that is that. So wanted to thank Flip the Chain for posting that. Now, also happen to see this ISO 20022 kind of goes nicely, complements that last clip quite nicely. The head of the United States Federal Credit Unions. Okay, he's saying banks in America are basically ready to use crypto. They're ready to go. There's nothing technologically holding them back. Listen to this.
I want there to be a seamless experience. I think one of the questions you're asking about what some of the questions are, many of the credit unions still want to know, do they have our imprimatur at NCUA to embrace fintech technology? Do they have our imprimatur to embrace blockchain, distributed ledger technology, and even engaging in digital assets? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. They have our imprimatur. We've not had to give a rulemaking because our statutes, our legislation and regulations, they currently now allow them to engage in those activities, but as they would with any activity, do it prudently and pragmatically. Are you going through the appropriate due diligence? We as an agency, we were one of the few agencies that really did tell our regulated entities that you are more than welcome when it came to digital assets and blockchain. We gave them supervisory guidance, telling them, look at it as they would with any third party. So we're looking at, are you doing the appropriate vetting, the vendor due diligence? Are you looking at a lot of the other things that you would do if you were really embarking upon any other relationship? And I know our peer regulators have taken a different stance where they're saying, well, we're not going to tell you can do it. You need to ask us for permission, right. and we will give you a letter saying we're not denying it. Mm-hmm. But that type of regulatory uncertainty and regulatory vacuum is what we're trying to prevent at the agency. So I think many of our regulated entities will say that we've been very forthright, been very forward, and I'm very proud that all three board members are so in unison and wanting to embrace the technology. I mean, I really had really great joy when I was able to get all of their support in creating the new office and moving forward with some of the other ideas with the new FinTech director position. So I think the one thing that I hope comes loudly and clearly from our conversation today is that we do not want to stand in your way, provided you're going through the appropriate due diligence as you would with any third-party vendor, as you would engage with any partnership. I think you need to measure the complexity, measure the risk as you would with any activity.
So a lot of great things pointed out here by the head of the United States Federal Credit Unions. They want to make the rules of the road clear. They want, they realize what, he didn't say the SEC specifically, but they realize what organizations like the SEC are doing. and they don't see that as right. It can't be this blind system where, you know, these companies are going at it, not really knowing if what they're doing is legal, and then they get the slap on the wrist. It has to be the other way around. And the banks are technically ready to adopt cryptocurrency once we do get that official green light from U.S. regulators, Congress. I don't know. It's looking as though it's going to be up to them. Mr. Mann here also bringing this up. Okay, back in 2019, a document written by an Asian team states that crypto assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum operate outside jurisdiction. Meanwhile, assets like XRP is recognized as part of a formal system. So even back then, guys, June 2019, it was noted that XRP, part of the system, I mean, we were already getting inclinations of this back then. The question of whether a given crypto asset will be recognized as part of a formal payment system will largely depend on how it is meant to be used in a given jurisdiction. Bitcoin and Ether fall outside that, while Ripple and XRP often fall within the system. This is also because formal payment systems are generally closed-loop systems. If some crypto assets can be integrated into a formal payment system, they can be then used as a settlement vehicle, not as a medium of exchange. Other jurisdictions may classify crypto assets as commodities, such as the United States does, or simply apply customer protections laws. So, you know, even back in 2019 in China, don't know if it's China, but it was an Asian team that put this out, did say the Asian Development Bank, this is from the Asian Development Bank, they did say XRP part of the system, whereas cryptocurrencies that are, I mean, generally speaking, proof of work, not part of that monetary system. So an interesting perspective at that time. Wanted to thank Mr. Mann for posting that. Also wanted to touch on the deflation debate. Okay, guys, this one courtesy of Michael Branch here on Twitter. XRP deflationary. Think of how much has been burned since the inception of the ledger. So XRP deflation debate surfaces amid 11.6 million XRP burned data. So guys, this data just came out, and you got to think every time a transaction goes through the XRP ledger, some XRP is burnt, which means XRP is deflationary. Another important part another important piece of this puzzle that we have to understand as XRP holders, I think. In a recent tweet, the renowned crypto author Panos proclaimed XRP is deflationary. He marks a remark following an XRPL ambassador's post indicating that the XRP ledger has burnt roughly 11.6 million XRP at this time, the time of this recording at least. So guys, 11.6 burnt. However, an ex-user responded to Panos's claims with an alternative perspective. The commenter argued that while XRP might be deflationary regarding the total existing XRP, it could appear inflationary to holders. And what's his reason here? Because they keep taking out of the escrow? Yeah, it's because they keep taking out of the escrow. I mean, you can look at it two ways. I think ultimately, though, you know, one day the escrow is going to be empty and we're going to have every single XRP in circulation. That was what it was meant for. And the escrow right now is that temporary measure to keep XRP kind of controlled in a way before this real-world utility catches fire. And I will link this in the description if you guys want to read more information about this. Panos has definitely got some good insight on, you know, the mechanism, XRP as a deflationary cryptocurrency. You know, because on the one hand, I get that there are people who are, I mean, I get that there are naysayers of the escrow. I mean, we want XRP price to really rally. For us XRP holders, we really want it to rally. And I mean, it could command a very, very high price. I mean, recently I've done videos about a $10,000 XRP, how XRP was actually built to command a $10,000 price. And I mean, personally, I don't think that that's ridiculous. I don't think it's going to happen this bull run. But I mean, down the road, this is why I'm going to hold my XRP, a portion of it, for the long term. And again, guys, I'm going to be letting my patrons know, you know, for example, what portion of my XRP I'm going to be holding and trading this bull run, what my targets are going to be, and which portion, how much XRP I'm going to be holding for the long term. So that's one theory. We already have the timeline, okay? ISO 20022, integration is supposed to be happening by the end of 2023. Another good reminder here from ISO 20022, let's do it here on Twitter. Listen to this.
Yeah, a lot of systems. There's been a preparation ever since Kennedy was assassinated for this time period. But now, will it be the end of this year? Will it be 2023? I think it's going to be between now and sometime between the end of 2023. All these shifts and all these changes are going to happen. And along with it, what's going to be occurring is that as the systems collapse, a new system, something that was created for the benefit of all of humanity, is already in place.
And just to give you guys some context, this is Alex Collier, okay? And, you know, he's essentially saying the system is in place. All things that we've been noticing, the fact that the IMF, organizations like the BIS, you know, they've all been very quasi-open, I guess, to their affiliations with Ripple, XRP. They at least acknowledge that, cryptocurrencies like XRP and XLM will be stable coins. I mean, that was kind of a head scratcher when that point came out. All this to kind of demonstrate that the world is changing, the financial system is being restructured, and guys, we're right at the precipice of this. Banks are ready in the United States. So, I mean, really, how long will it be before XRP does command that high enough price? Will it be by the end of 2023 into 2024, 2025? Could this bull run, in fact, coincide with that real-world utility? Again, I'm not banking on it. I think we still have to trade based on what has occurred in the past. But guys, I mean, it's a possibility. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.